Hello folks, good afternoon. Welcome to today's episode of Daily Option Trading Ideas with TechieInvestor, and today's date is December 7th, 2020. You are with Srini, co-founder of TechieInvestor, and I'll be your host today walking you through the charts. Before we go through our ideas today, let's take care of the disclaimer. All the information presented in this video is only for educational purposes. However, the viewer can use the video, this information presented to make their own investment decisions. However, this viewer is solely responsible for using this information in an appropriate way to make his buy, hold, or sell investment decisions. Okay? So having taken care of the disclaimer, let's look at today's ideas. Today's top three ideas that we are looking at is Palantir 25 puts that we have bought it at $2 option price. We'll be briefly describing why we entered this puts when the market is so bullish. And also the next one is the December 24th cost 380 calls. This is the Costco. They have earnings on December 10th, and we haven't entered the trade yet, but we are looking for an entry at $5 or less, or 380. And the third option pick that we are looking at is December 20 CSX, which is the railroad, the 92.5 calls. We have entered it at 150. I also would recommend you to enter at less than 150. The target stock price would be around 97. So having described these ideas, let's look at the charts. First, we'll look at how the SPY looks and the NASDAQ looks, and then we'll jump directly into these charts for these picks, okay? Followed by the updates. All right, here we have the SPY. The SPY still is in the range. It hasn't touched our trend. It has, as expected, it has touched the 112.5, and it is debating whether it wants to go a little bit up. I still feel that it could go up and touch this trend line. So we are looking at around 373, 375 area. So that's what I'm looking at, and that could happen any soon. But that is what we are looking at SPY. Then let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ seems to be very, very bullish. As I was mentioning, it has gone to the 50% retracement, and it, as I mentioned here, it might want to go to the 308, 311 area. So this is where we are looking at 311.58. That is where it is heading to. So we are seeing Tesla, all these NASDAQ stocks like FB picking up, right? So there is still some room to go, but be very cautious, folks. We are reaching at the very top levels. So be very cautious with what you're playing and be ready to exit out of your positions if you see any breakdowns, okay? That's what I wanted to show you before we go to the pick. So the first one which I wanted to talk is the Palantir. So the Palantir had gone from a low of 1318 on November 10th, and it went very fast to the level of 3350. That covered a 270-degree angle as per Gantt square of 9, and it has been retracing. So, but what we saw last week was an opportunity that it went down to 2115 and it started going up. We knew that it would cover an angle of 90 degrees from here. So that is like 2115 to, like, we went to 2794. So we played this and we made a double on this call, but now we are bearish on Palantir. Where are we expecting it to go? You see this flat line, which is at 1898, and you see the moving average 20 and all these things, right? So we are looking at least a move to 1898. We are playing the December 24 Palantir 25 puts. So we expect this move to go there. So this is also kind of an hedge for us in the sense, if the market goes down, we are going to see these puts really working well for us. Okay. The second one we are talking about is cost, which is Costco. Costco, if you look at it, it formed, it went from a low of 355.79 and it formed a 135-degree angle to the 389.50 area and to the high of, right, it's a 389.50 area. So what happened here is like, so then what happened is it retraced back to the 360.50 area, And when it went back to the 393 area and it gave back, this looks like a proper earnings move. Before the earnings, it went down and it is consolidating around this area, which is at the moving average. Let me see. It's consolidating at the moving average 50 area, which is 373.36, right? So now the next move could be to the 395 area. So if you see here, we have another 4 days to go, just to be on the safe side and not to get. But one thing surprising is the volatility is extremely low, even though it's earnings. Maybe as we get closer to December 10th, maybe on 9th, we would see the volatility going up. But right now it is at like what, 27 or something like that, around that range. So it's not much. So we are expecting this move to 395 area to be on the safe side. We have bought the December 24th calls. As I mentioned, we are not yet in the calls. We are expecting the 380 calls to come down to $5, which is right now at 550. So we'll make a decision later, depending upon whether the stock is making a move up. Okay. The last one which I wanted to talk is CSX. The CSX, if you look at it, it has formed a base about 2 days above the conversion. But it has been, it made a move from a low of 75.39 and it made a 135-degree move. It looks very, very similar to Costco's charts. So it went up to 93.70, but the 180-degree angle from here is 75.39, that comes to 79.39, 84.39, 89.39, and 94.39. So we are looking to a move to 94.39 and above. But if you look at another way of looking at it, is if you look at 75% retracement, it can go to 112.5. So it has already been, and if I put the time zones here, there's a very good possibility of this move happening in the next 3 days. Okay. However, we bought the December 20 92.5 calls for 150. So we expect the calls to at least double. As I was mentioning, always we look for picks that could at least give us a double. And then we could sell the double and use the house money to play the more option. Okay. So those are the 3 top picks that we have for you guys today. Hope you make a profit. You make profit on these ideas, right? Now, little bit on the updates. The first update I have is VERI. VERI was amazing today. We bought it on Friday when we saw this move. It made above the conversion line. It made a big move to 31 point something, right? It went to 32.46. So we were able to double and exit our calls. So we bought it around 170 and we sold it around 360, 370 area. So, but it went to even $4, but didn't want to get too greedy and was very happy with the profits. For a 1 day, that's like a double, that's 100%. So what we expect is, we expect another entry into VERI by pulling it back around the 50% retracement and then ride it back again to greater than 33 area. That is one of the updates I wanted to give. The second one which I wanted to give is BB. BB made a move. We also entered this on Friday, around Friday when we saw this move. It made a big move. We entered it around 780. We bought the December 24th 8 calls and we entered it when the price was around 780. It has been making big strides, but today it went to $9 and it pulled back. But we still think there's a big move coming up to $10. So that is where we are looking for 10 and above, precisely 1082. But definitely we expect to take some of them off the table when our options double, which is since we bought it at 80 cents, 160 to $2 range is where we look at our first entry to take it off. Okay. The third one which I wanted to talk about is NIO. The NIO went as good as possible. It like beautifully went up from 38 we entered it around $42. When we saw that it broke above it came to 41.65 and it was making a move up. Today it made a big move to 46, but according to the daily ATR, it has a $5 move. So it is working according to the ATR. So from a low of 41.65, it made to 45.65. It's consolidating around that range. So we are looking at a target of 51 and above. So it might take another 1 or 2 days to reach the target. So which we expect our calls to also double at that point of time. So those are some of the updates, and the other update that I want to talk about is FB. FB, as I expected, it moved from this 279 area, today 279, and it went up to 287 to 88 area. Again, if you look at the ATR, ATR from 279 for day is 663. So you might see it closing around 285 today, and tomorrow you might see another move to 291 area, and what we are looking for is 299. So we might see this going in another 3-4 days. That's what I'm expecting. 298. So another 3 days we might see it reaching our target. So but this one we have this week calls. So we'll make a move decision later whether we have to roll these calls or we have to close these calls. Okay, these were some of the updates I had for you guys today. So that's all I had for you in this video. Hope you have a profitable trading day, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's episode.